99.7 KRED.
Hey, we need to step the up, man.
Aurora, Colorado.
Don't that feel good when your crowd behind you? You know what I'm saying? Let's give them something to cheer for now. Hey! 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 It's
You're now listening to the sounds of
Running Wild with Brandon Jackson.
I'm in Miami trick.
Not in Miami quite yet, but looking forward to being there in a few weeks. This is 99.7 KRED, Aurora. Brandon Jackson here, running wild this morning, and run wild indeed. We have defeated the Colorado State Rams, and what was kind of thought up to just kind of be a sleeper, one that they thought Colorado State was just going to win. Nope. Convincing win for the Aurora Red Foxes. I mean, the score won't show it, 27-21, but it was 27-7. It was a 27-7 ball game at the end of the third quarter, and then Colorado State got a quick touchdown pass there to get it to 27-14. But altogether, a very well put together game by the Aurora Red Foxes. I couldn't be any prouder of this team and the game that they put together. And hey, look, we beat a Mountain West Conference team. It's our first out-of-conference win that we have. And I couldn't be any more impressed by how they played, by the outstanding performance by Chuck Oferije. Are you kidding me? That first catch of his, diving across the middle of the field like that, just laying his body out, that huge 6'6" frame of his. Dude, he's going to be amazing in the years to come. I'm really excited for this team. I don't know what else to say. I think they're going to be very good. They're going to be really good this year. I think they're going to really compete in the Sun Belt Conference. I don't know if we'll beat Miami or Virginia this year, but I think in the Sun Belt, oh yeah, they're going to make a run this year. I think that the team has matured a little bit more. We got really lucky in recruiting, bringing in someone like John James and having Chuck Oferije there, and him turning out to be a lot better than I think any of us thought he would be immediately. I thought he would be a little raw the first year. Having David Blanchard, kind of sit back and take a fullback role now has really helped that the tight end game. And D'Souza's been very good as well. Did you have Chandler Gaines have to come in there in relief for him? And even he looked good in relief. But I talked to Mashburn about it. It's D'Souza as the starting quarterback for this upcoming week. He has no plans to change that thus far. He's had Mike Hayes working in practice and working through the offense, but there's no plans for him to come in immediately right now. This currently is Miguel D'Souza's team, and they're going to rely heavily on that run game, that just like they did in this game. So let's go ahead and jump straight into questions right now first, as I'm really excited to get into this Miami game. Oh, man, so much fun. I can't wait to actually just kind of go down there, chill out, party a little bit before the game on Saturday, and just have some fun in Miami. I've never been before, have no idea what Miami's like, but we've been close by, like to the south down there. We've gone over to Georgia and Alabama, so it's about time we actually go to Florida, go somewhere fun for once. But yeah, I'm really, really excited. And then, Scott Slaughter is up there in Florida, the freshman All-American middle linebacker. I hear he is an absolute wrecking ball on offense. I'm not looking forward to seeing what he can possibly do. But I want to see what kind of a fight we can put up against Miami. I think it may end up looking a lot like the USC game from last year. But hey, Mashburn has a lot of confidence in this team, and I think there's a lot of confidence there amongst the teammates. So hey, maybe they play a lot better. Who knows? Anyway, let's go ahead and get into some questions. We'll start here with JJ Ruins Uprising. And remember, if you want to see your question featured on air, go ahead and drop it in the comment section. We're currently broadcasting the live practice right now. You can go there to the website and see it there. But let's go ahead and jump in. JJ Ruins Uprising, he asked, what should we expect this season? Possibly a bowl game? Hashtag Run Wild. I think there was another question like that. Just let me kind of scroll around here. Oh, yeah, here we go. From Not the First Comment. Hey, Brandon, love the week 1 win. Do you think that Aurora has a solid outside shot at the conference title this year? Also, there was a wide receiver that went to high school with DJ Hawkins named Malcolm Jennings. Do you know where he decided to go to school? Well, let's answer the first question from both of these guys, and it has to do with like shots at the conference title this year and possibly a bowl game. I don't know if there's a bowl game for us this year. We're still very low ranked. And, I mean, there are some people hyping up this game against Miami. They're saying that this could be an interesting test for us to kind of see where we're at. So, I mean, at least there are some people who are seeing the potential and the ability of this team here at Aurora. But I don't know if we have bowl game quite yet. I still think we're a bit ways away from that. Now, if we absolutely succeed this year inside the Sun Belt Conference, which I do think we will. I do think we have maybe 4 or 5 wins in us in the Sun Belt this year, especially with Western Kentucky going out. It's possible. It's very possible that we could have a shot at the conference title, and then on top of that, we could maybe sneak into a bowl game. But I think we have to have a 7-win season. I don't think we get in there with a 6-win season. Definitely not a 5-win season either. It has to be a convincing season. Because remember, we were ranked very, very, very low in the preseason rankings. So, I think there's a possibility, again, for us to go ahead and do something like that. But I'd say 5-7, 6-6 at best. And, sorry, looking around now, I'm doing my research now on Malcolm Jennings, okay, I'm looking. So he signed with UNC, where he went to go play basketball and football, but he wasn't getting the time that he wanted there at UNC, so he actually just transferred to UConn this year. So he's with the UConn Huskies, and he will redshirt, or I guess sit out a year. He already redshirted at UNC. He will sit out a year and then play for the UConn Huskies football team next year, as well as get some time playing basketball as well. So that's what's up with him. All right, moving forward, let's go to the next question here. Hey, Brandon, fan from Ottawa. Yeah, we got a Canadian here. My question is a two-parter. With the Jones-Carter brothers and company all being seniors and ready to commit to a team, how hard will Mashburn be competing in recruiting inside the state of Colorado? And in your opinion, should Miguel DeSouza be the full-time starter? We saw a solid performance from him tonight, including the clinching first down to win. However, do you believe his inexperience will have any effect? Keep up the great work as always. So, first part, yeah, we're hitting hard in recruiting this year, and we'll get to that later on in the radio show about how recruiting is going. But yes, there's going to be a hard recruiting effort inside the state of Colorado, as there are a lot of good names out there, including Tyrone Robinson, who we actually do have a shot at. There's some interest there, and he is, I think, the best prospect in the state of Colorado. Now, should Miguel DeSouza be the full-time starter? I talked about it earlier on. That is currently the plan, that he will be starting, and I do think that he should be the starter right now. Inexperienced or not, the team plays better when he's on the field. Mashburn has gone away a little bit from he's actually incorporated a little bit more of his style of offense, those heavy sets, getting the fullbacks involved and everything, and just relied a little bit more on the running game than the passing game. So I think right now DeSouza's the best option, and that's where we should be going. I would love to see Chandler Gaines in there at that spot so we can get a little bit more of the passing game involved, but you know, you don't go away from what works, and right now DeSouza is what works. Next question here from HGT Sun 123. Does Aurora have a baseball team? Because if so, Mashburn needs to send DeSouza down there to teach him to slide. If he doesn't learn fast, those linebackers will teach him a good lesson. I do agree with the fact that DeSouza needs to slide. We're actually working on getting a baseball team here. May take the next couple of years to do so. But no baseball team thus far. But yes, I do agree DeSouza needs to learn how to slide down a little bit. Next question here from V-Dub in California. First, I want to comment on how Chuck Oferije, or on how Oferije his impressive debut as a Red Fox. Okay, I see what he's trying to say. I really thought he would have gotten that last one catch to get over 100 yards receiving. I thought so too. I was kind of disappointed that he didn't get one more touch, but hey, you know, I saw enough. I know how good he is. Now, should there be a concern that Isaiah Irving could be this year's Brian Swift, or has he played well enough where those drops aren't as big as a concern? Hashtag run wild. Run wild. I don't think Isaiah Irving is this year's Brian Swift. You know, that one drop did concern me a bit, but again, the offense was clicking enough where I think that how well the offense performs is going to overshadow, and how well he plays in the field too. He's the game changer. DJ Smith isn't quite there yet, but Isaiah Irving is the guy that can really kind of change the game, go vertical. I think the bigger concern is DeSousa's arm and how that changes how effective Isaiah Irving is, but I don't think he's going to like drop off to Brian Swift levels at all. Let's go to another question here. This one from Michael Bosa. In this game, I saw energy that was not there last season. What has Mashburn done to get his players more confident? Also, in this offense, will we ever see a feature back, or is it a run-by-committee system? And this kind of coincides with another question I see here from Dylan B. After this close win and introduction of the new uniforms, how is the team's morale going on the road to a top 25 team of Miami? So let's start with Michael's portion of this question. The players are way more confident this year, and I think that they see that there's like new kits, new uniforms, different ways for them to look this year, the white helmets, the all-white look that they went out with. Obviously, that boosted them. You know, a lot of guys like make fun of teams bringing in new uniforms. Remember when it was a big fad with Oregon? It's like, oh, you know, all they do is they have new uniforms or whatever every year. It's ridiculous with the colors. But those are things that actually attract kids to schools. They like being able to see that schools have different uniforms, different looks, different ways that they can go out in the field. Looking good does bring a bit of confidence to your team, and we saw it here in the all-white game. They just came out and absolutely rolled over Colorado State. And in terms of there being an offense where, you know, there's a feature back, it could happen. I think right now the feature back is a Marcus Timberlake, but Mashburn is always going to have multitudes of backs in the backfield to always help out whoever the feature back is, and to take a lot of some of that load off of them. Like, I don't think you're ever going to see a running back here in Aurora that's going to command 30 carries a game. I think by committee, they'll run the ball about 30 or 40 times, but it's never going to be one guy dominating in carries in that category. So, yeah, it's going to be a little bit more run by committee, but it definitely right now is a run-first offense. And to go to Dylan B's question, team's morale is very high. You know, I played a little clip from that LMFAO song. That was the song playing in the locker room when they were jumping around and celebrating. Mashburn gave a passionate speech after that game where, you know, he talked about before last year when the morale was more, hey, you know, we stuck in it together and we stuck it out in a game that we probably shouldn't have won, but because we fought for each other, we won. Whereas this year, it's like, this is the hard work paying off. You guys dominated this game. We're going into Miami. We're going to give them a run for their money. So, I mean, the confidence is there with Mashburn. I just don't know how realistic it actually is. But, hey, I mean, he surprised me a lot. This whole team has surprised me a lot. We went 4-8 last year. So, who knows? Maybe I should get on board. We're going to upset Miami. How about that? Let's go ahead and beat a top 25 team who's now number 24 in Miami. And let's shove it down their throats and see what we can do. I mean, this is a team that came out and stomped the yard or stormed the end zone against USC. They just beat Colorado State. Why not? Bring on Miami. Let's go full fight into this. We'll take a quick break here. We'll come right back and talk a little bit about recruiting and some of the prospects that Mashburn wants to go after and how some of the battles may be going. Maybe we can actually pull in someone like Tyrone Robinson. But we'll talk about that a little bit after the break. This is 99.7 KRED, Aurora, Brandon Jackson, be right back. 99.7 KRED, Aurora vs. Brandon Jackson. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit about recruiting going into next year. We already know some of the big names here like Zion Meadows, the Jones-Carter brothers, all there in Aspen that obviously we want a big defensive boost, and that's the place to go. The two schools that I actually want to focus on today, however, are Colorado Springs and St. Joe's. Now, at St. Joe's, we know of the defensive tackle Tyrone Bain Robinson. Big name here in the state of Colorado, and I think that he can actually be a huge impact on this Aurora team. I think that if Mashburn were to bring in Tyrone Robinson, I would redshirt him his first year because he is a dominant physical presence at 6'7", 300-something pounds. And just seeing him play there at St. Joe's in the practice thus far as they are ready to go into week 1 themselves, he's an absolute monster. They have to put 2 guys on him. And when you have a defensive tackle like that commands that attention, that commands the line of scrimmage like that, you open up gaps for everybody else to come through, and it makes blitzing a greater possibility. If he's one-on-one, he's most likely going to win. So if you have 2 guys on him, those open up gaps to go ahead and stop runs and create pressure, force quarterbacks into bad throws. Very interested in seeing what he can do. Now, there's also the story of Nate Anthony, I apologize. I'm getting my small guys confused. He is small at 5'7", 165, so I guess the resemblance there with Nate Robinson is kind of accurate. But he plays safety and he plays quarterback. Now, what I've seen from him at the quarterback position, I'm a little skeptical of. I'm not sure if I actually want to see him play quarterback, but as a safety, he definitely has the ability, and I think that he would actually be better at the safety position than he would be a quarterback. But he has the ability to run, and that ability to go ahead and command a run-oriented offense this year as they're going away from a passing offense could help them. Now, down the road, I think that they're going to go more towards DeMarcus Moore, who is currently their backup quarterback. He's a dual threat guy who can run and pass, and I think they're going to try to develop a few more receivers as DeMarcus Moore switches back and forth between receiver and quarterback. So I think down the line, DeMarcus Moore is probably going to be their guy, but right now they're relying a little bit more on Nate Anthony. But again, I want to see him more playing the free safety position than I do quarterback. And then as we go over to Colorado Springs, the big name there, James Davis, the guard. We want him there with John James, who's already playing guard. They're both great run-blocking offensive linemen. And James Davis can possibly be moved over to tackle. Could you imagine that left side with someone as dominant as John James is, and then James Davis also there with him? I think together, the running attack at Aurora could be absolutely deadly, especially in the Sun Belt Conference. So they've got to hit heavy on James Davis, and then also take a look possibly down the line, if someone like Johan Mondrasso doesn't work out and we're not able to actually bring him in, just take a look at Robert Lee there at quarterback. He's a junior this year, and then next year he'll be a senior. He's taken over the starting role there at quarterback after Bryson Hill just left. And it's going to be interesting to see what he can do. He's a bit of a pocket passer. He's got a little bit of speed to him. They're trying to adapt him a little bit to the option offense. But again, his effectiveness is when he's in the pocket and he can throw the ball. So that's a little bit of a tease for recruiting for this upcoming year, as we'll talk a little bit about how the games go going into next week. But that's all I've got right now. We'll be right back and talk a little bit more about our opponent, Miami, after the break. This is 99.7 KRED Aurora. Brandon Jackson. We'll be right back.